Check this out. Snow! Kids!
Whoa, aren't my skills totally epic and insane? Yeah, I know I've been watching a lot of influencers lately, like parents playing with toys and showing you how to use monster trucks and Monster Jam. There's even this video about Monster Jam with these kids, and that's what my kids are into. So I've got a lot of influencer excitement and language right now. Hopefully it'll kind of ease off as we move through the semester and they get locked into something else. But what I want to go over today, I know it's another video, but we are not having class face-to-face. Something came up, pretty important. My kid is having an orientation for his first day of kindergarten, and I really want to be there to experience that with him. But I think you guys can handle it. You've been going to school a long time, and this is a hybrid course, so a lot of the course is going to occur offline anyway. The video explains how we'll use Blackboard. It talks a little about where you can find assignments, and goes over that first assignment that you'll have for the semester. You'll find that the video is also peppered with extra credit questions for you to answer. The extra credit questions will be due by Friday, this Friday, by 11:59 p.m. Just email them to me and I can get you some points for doing that. So again, this video is basically just how the class is going to run, how you can use Blackboard, and what you should be doing with regards to the discussion forums, the learning journals, and we'll talk about the first big assignment that you have. First extra credit question. How many points is answering each extra credit question worth? Is it worth 1 point, 2 points, or 3 points? Good luck. But right now, hey, here's a little family time. Hey, welcome to Media Ethics week number 1. I hope you enjoyed the video of just the introduction to class. Again, I look forward to meeting you. Unfortunately, this week we can't meet in person, but I was going to use this time just to go over Blackboard and share with you how the class is going to run, look at some of the discussion forum prompts, how to use that again, the learning journal, and then we'll also talk a little bit about your first big assignment. Extra credit question number 2. Pick a superhero in the MCU or the DC universe and write 3 rules that might be part of their code of ethics. So what are 3 things that they may live by? And give an example or 2 of how you've seen them live by that code of ethics or broken that code of ethics. And if you aren't into the MCU or the DC extended universe, don't worry about superheroes. Just pick a character from like a novel or a play or a TV show that you've read and analyze that character for, their behavior and what you think their code of ethics would be. So just 3 things, 3 rules for the codes of ethics, what they are, and then just give me an example, 1 or 2 examples of how those rules are met in some kind of action that's been done in the show. So here I'm in Blackboard. There's some things I definitely recommend that you do. Definitely go to the Read Me First section. It tells you more about how the course is structured. It talks about the discussion board, how we use it, the learning journals, time expectations, all sorts of stuff. And then you check out the syllabus. So on the syllabus, you're going to find the course description, my office hours, which you can meet with me by appointment through Teams. If you can't make any of those office hours, and then some course outcomes, grading information, and so forth. So what we're going to do in this class, just via the course description, it's an examination of the various ethical dilemmas that confront members of the news media, including conflicts of interest, freebies, invasions of privacy, reporter source problems, advertiser and corporate pressures, and the use of deception to gather news. You're going to analyze and debate actual ethical quandaries and attempt to find workable solutions. It's kind of boring above, so think about it a little bit more like this. We'll be thinking about, talking about, writing about, learning about, and all around just figuring out how ethics, why ethics, when ethics, who ethics, where ethics in our current media environment, what that is. And we'll be looking at how journalists take ethics into account into their practices as well. We look a little bit about public relations and marketing too. The textbook is Media Ethics, a Guide for Professional Conduct. It's been revised by Fred Brown, I guess the author that you'll find. Once you complete this course, hopefully that you'll be able to identify major debates, controversies, dilemmas, and conflicts in media studies, Understand major ethical approaches that have affected moral decision-making in media today, as well as the role of professionals in shaping those decisions. You'll understand the complex relationships between technological, social, cultural, and economic effects on the media and how those impact moral decision-making. We'll understand how to make complex decisions and as a media practitioner by considering all affected parties and the difference between functional and moral obligations and how to order your priorities. You'll debate the ethical dilemmas of contemporary media practices, apply multidisciplinary perspectives to specific cases, critically assess institutional and individual media practices, interpret ethical representation in media texts, demonstrate competency in media literacy, information, visual, technological, and textual, and communicate effectively in a variety of formats, oral, written, and multimedia. So here are some of the assignments that you'll be doing. You'll be utilitarian yourselves, don't blame me, care, ethic, and virtuosity, love story, socially ethical, mean, artificial journalism, are you ready for it? The discussion board and participation, and your learning journal. Now you'll notice that you do have 4 assignments plus the discussion board and the learning journal. The discussion board is worth 40% of your grade, so this is really important for this class, and it's where you get to figure out what your thinking is about ethics and what you think about the readings and how you want to apply ethics as well. I have just how I grade below that. If you get an 89.5, I read that as a 90%. If you have an 89.49, I read that as an 89, and that's a B+. So 89.5, that's 90. 89.49, that's 89, how I rate it or grade it. There's the academic integrity and plagiarism policy, you know, abide by McDaniel's Code of Ethics, the Honor Code, and, you know, no plagiarizing, no just stealing, cite your sources. You know, it's always better like to cite and, you know, expand on what people are saying, just so then you can figure out what you think. We do have an AI and text generation policy for this class. So using any of these, you certainly can use them if the assignment explicitly allows for it, and then follow the guidelines to disclose which text comes from AI. When using generator, or text, it's citable. So when you use it, I'm asking you to, you know, this honor system to cite the AI and give credit to the AI. But that is, again, only when the specific assignment guidelines. Extra credit question number 3. What are you binging? Allow you to do that. And we do that later on. We'll be playing with it in the last module of the class. The course, again, as a hybrid course, we do have instructional equivalent activities. These are the activities that we do in the class that aren't necessarily in the classroom, but these are things that you guys are working on outside of class. Again, I recommend you overview the syllabus, make sure you understand how the class is going to work. Finally, requests for accommodations and the non-discrimination policy. So if you are requesting accommodation, please make sure to speak to Student Accessibility and Support Services, and then they'll contact me to arrange accommodations for you, and let's get that going as early as possible. There are also resources for students who may witness or experience bias, discrimination, or harassment or violence. McDaniel College does not tolerate discrimination or harassment on the basis of race, ethnicity, religion, nationality, disability, age, sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, parental status, military status, genetic information, marital status, veteran status, or any other legally protected status. If you want to report an incident, you can use the online form found on the portal and the footer of the college's webpage, and it can be submitted anonymously. You can also contact the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. One thing to keep note of is right down here, please note that that according to Title IX, any claims of gender-based discrimination, harassment, sexual violence, relationship violence are not considered confidential sources to share with faculty members. So faculty members are not confidential sources. So if you talk to me about it, I have to share them with the Title IX coordinator. But if you do wish to speak confidentially, please contact the Wellness Center. There's additional support for class meetings and also for students. So if you're unable to purchase the textbooks due to financial hardships, you can contact the bursar's office and see if you're eligible for a book voucher. Also, 1 in 3 college students experience food insecurity, so they lack the ability to acquire healthy food on a regular basis, which can impact your academic progress. If you're experiencing food insecurity, we have on-campus and off-campus resources. Contact Kathy Gunther for more information about that. I'm going to move on now just to the introductory week. So this is what we'd be doing today. And again, since we're not meeting, it's virtual, we're going to go over the way class works and discuss that first assignment. The focus of this week was really to get a fundamental idea about what ethics can mean and if it's worth distinguishing it from morality. And usually morality is like taking a step back from ethics, so it's even larger values, and then ethics starts to narrow it down. And in one of the videos, ethics is something that is actually written down and codified, and then morals are things that aren't necessarily codified. And part of our readings this week is just to think about that distinction and if it's worth it to have those distinctions, to not use ethics and morality synonymously. Curious to hear what you think about the difference between ethics and morality. So this week, again, in the last video I sent, the introduction, I just talked about what was due when. So again, you have on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, unless otherwise indicated, there'll be some exceptions, for holidays and things like that. You're responsible for 3 readings and also responses to the questions in the discussion forum on those readings. So this week, again, you've got those 3 readings, and then you post 2 responses to classmates by 3:30 on Thursdays. So you can do that, before or just get it done on that day by 3:30. And again, discussion forums, they're vital to this class. It's final extra credit question. This is extra credit question number 4. How come writing is so important? Like writing on your own and making your own notes and in general, just answering discussion forum questions. Like, why is that something that's kind of important? Working out these issues means writing about them, means talking about them, and doing the discussion forums is a great way to do that. And then I can read what you guys are thinking, and I can clear some things up, or I can, even ask more questions just to figure out where you're at and maybe where we could be going or how we could think about ethics differently. So the posts, move to the discussion forum down here. So the posts should be 3 unique posts and 2 responses to classmates each week, 200 words for each post, and then respond to classmates something more than just, I like what you said, at least 100 words for each of those, and then have an in-text citation. You can use MLA or APA in the readings to support your ideas. Okay, so make sure that you're citing things that helps you achieve that word count, right? But it also shows you're doing the reading and also are able to talk back to the authors and question them and think about what they're saying, maybe agree with them too. So that was this week. I'm going to go ahead and head into module 1. That's what you'll be doing for next week. And this module is 2 weeks long. And you can see we've got our virtual class agenda. Again, by Tuesday, September 5th, here's what you read. And here's the Module 1 discussion forum that you respond to. And we can go on and look at what we'll be doing. So again, that next week, it'll be a little lecture about some readings. We'll have an activity, work on things. And then the following week on Thursday, you get to work on your project. So a lot of the work we'll be doing that we'll be doing in class will be actually working on our projects. So everything we have kind of shifts outside of class. Most of the lecture and things is me talking to you on discussion forums, talking about ideas, that kind of thing. We do have a little bit of lecture, but then a lot of it is just working on projects, and I'll be there to help you with those projects and answer any questions. Again, here are the forum posts and the learning journal. So your learning journals, they occur at the end of every module. So you'll have your first learning journal at the end of this module. And the learning journal posts, I've got the requirements for the entries. You think about the big concepts that are important. You tell me about some kind of really important reading you in-text cite, like an important quote or something that you thought was interesting. They should be at least 400 words, and I have more details here of the questions you can answer. They're due on Sundays by 11:59 at the end of the module. So they'll be due, I believe, September 17th. Okay, so that would be Sunday for that one. Utilitarian yourselves. This is the first assignment that you'll be working towards. And this assignment is to get you thinking about ethics. The frameworks we use would be things like utilitarianism, consequentialism, and duty ethics. So this is a sort of framework for making an ethical decision about a media problem. So let's go ahead and scroll down, and you're going to select one of the following case studies to analyze, and you can just click on that. You'll find the case studies, and then you'll compose a document with the following headings. All right, so title, context, theory, applying the theory, decision, works cited. And then you cite from at least 2 readings we've had so far. They could be the viewings too, because we have videos. So when I say readings, I'm really open about what that means. So it should look like this. You'll have a title, you have your context. I say what you do. It's about 250 to 400 words. Have the theory section, applying the theory section, and I describe what you're supposed to do here. And then apply the theory. So describe the benefits and drawbacks with regards to the stakeholders. So those are the different audience members, right? So who's going to be affected by this decision, or who's the media affecting. Decision section, it's what's your decision? What would you do and why? So that's the first assignment. Definitely take a look at this. Start thinking about what you're going to do as we start going through the readings. And we'll even talk about it in class, especially on this day when we work on the first project. And of course, every day, every class will have about 30 minutes or more to work on your projects and start thinking about how to get those done. To access the library, you go here, and this has all the readings. So introductory week readings are there. Module 1, what we just went over, is right here. And here are all the readings that you'd be doing. And then discussions. So after you've read it, you'll go to the discussion forum, and you've already done introductory week. I've assessed it. You'll get feedback in Blackboard, and you can keep track of your grades there. There's a column that says like your overall score for the course. It's the weighted total, and that's where you can monitor your grades. The Module 1 forum, click on it, and then here we go. You do number 1 first, and here's the question. Again, you'd answer this question, and I'll come in and I'll ask you questions about it and comment, and then we move on from there. Finally, when you do get to the learning journal, you'd click here. And you'll click here and you'll write your learning journal. Well, that's it for today. If you have any questions, please contact me through email, and we will pick this up again next week. So we will be live in person next week. Good luck. I hope your first week of classes went well. I hope the second week goes even better, and I will talk to you next week. All right. Bye.